I have something very, very sad to share. And it's just crazy to hear that a story like this would exist. Basically, what happened is 2 days ago, a woman got shot by her father. A woman allegedly got shot by her father after an argument about Trump. I say allegedly because there's no evidence that they're still investigating this. And hearing the story, it's so weird. So let's just dive into the background lore of this. So Lucy Harrison is a fashion buyer from Warrington in Cheshire, whatever. And she had been staying with her father, Chris Harrison, and his family in Texas when she died. One day on Tuesday, Lucy's boyfriend, Sam Littler, told the people like in the investigation and at the court that he had traveled with her to the US where her father had moved when she was too young for a holiday. And fast forward, this is where kind of the meat and the juice really happens. On the morning of January 10th, when Lucy and her boyfriend were due to return home to the UK, there was a big argument between Lucy and her father about Trump, who was about to be inaugurated as president. Okay, so it seems like this story is very old. I thought this was recent. It's not. This was January 2025. So, he's still not arrested. I don't know why the story just suddenly got published. I thought news were like really good at, being fast and updated with that, but I have yet to really see exactly why this was uploaded so late. But anyways, let's move on. Chris and Lucy basically had this argument on, Trump having the allegations of sexual assaulting minors. And she asked her father, how would you feel if I was the girl in that situation and I'd been sexually assaulted? And her father replied with, well, I have 2 other daughters who live with me, so it wouldn't upset me that much. He's basically saying that he's okay with his daughter being raped because he has 2 other daughters that wouldn't be affected. Oh, something happened to you. That's whatever. I still got 2 others left. What a horrible, pathetic father you are. Really. And then a half an hour before they were supposed to leave to go to the airport, Lucy was in the kitchen. And this is all her boyfriend's testimony, by the way. Lucy had been in the kitchen when her father took her by the hand and led her into his ground floor bedroom. 50 seconds later, he heard a loud bang and the father was screaming for his wife. Yeah, so you grab your daughter by the hand. You take her to the bedroom, and a gun goes off. That is the most suspicious thing that can ever happen. To say that you are innocent, absolutely not. Like, because this is what he says. He said, I did not understand what had happened. Lucy immediately fell. Oh, I just wanted to show her the gun. And then boom, it hurts. There's a loud bang. That is so weird. That is very weird. I don't think, you know what? I'm not someone who makes conspiracies, but that is something that we can all agree on. Very weird claim. You took according to the boyfriend's testimony, you took your daughter to your bedroom, held her by the hand, a gun goes off, and let's dive into his backstory, by the way, because this is where things get very suspicious. So he told the inquest he could not recall whether his finger was on the trigger and acknowledged past issues with alcohol, saying he had briefly relapsed because he was emotional about his daughter leaving. The inquest said that one of the officers there noticed the smell of alcohol in Harrison's breath, and security footage showed that he had bought a liter carton of Chardonnay shortly before 1 p.m. that day. Okay, so here's the whole summary of the story. She comes home, or she's home, she's about to leave, but she has an argument with her dad. Her dad saying, if Trump or someone sexually assaulted you, I wouldn't care because I have 2 other daughters who wouldn't be affected. So it's like, whatever, you can be easily be replaced. You're expendable. And he grabs her to the bedroom, according to her boyfriend testifying that, had her by the hand. Gun goes off. He says he doesn't remember if he had his hand on the trigger, and he doesn't remember what happened. In fact, he said, I don't know, a loud bang. And this guy relapsed on that day. I am no professional with gun control, but I think if you are an alcoholic or you just have problems with that, and because he acknowledged that he had past issues with alcohol, you are nowhere near a safe. You should not be having a firearm. That is just bottom line. If you are drunk, you shouldn't be driving. You shouldn't be dealing with a firearm. This is just very horrible, horrible father. And it's really, really sad of what happened to Lucy. I think you guys get the point. I just want to kind of finish this video off. And I do want to do this a lot more because I am actually a Christian. And I want to say, do pray for her family. Pray for, because she has a few other sisters, right? So pray for sisters who just lost one. Pray for her boyfriend, her mother, and pray that the father, the pathetic man that she has as a father, would be brought to justice, because there is no way this guy isn't arrested. Again, I understand that there isn't like legitimate proof, but you have so much to go off from there. He has to be brought to justice. This whole thing needs to be like, there needs to be closure to this, and I really do hope that they get that. But of course, they do need their time to mourn, to process through this. I hope in their time of grieving that they don't fall into any like unhealthy ways of coping and all that. I really do wish justice for the family.